G'day, how yous all going? Glad you can join me today. Well, tonight actually, it's night time here in Australia. Now I've got my 42 centimetre by 30 centimetre canvas board. It's all raw, ready to be painted, okay? And I'm going to paint a moon over the beach with some palms in there and maybe a path, alright? Something easy. I'm just going to do this one out of my head, okay? So let's get started. I use dioxine purple, phthalo blue, Payne's grey, and titanium white, and my clear medium retarder. Right, I have my white flow paint here, flowable paint here. It's very loose and it's not thick, okay? And I've got retarder mixed with it. There's my retarder, my clear medium retarder. Now I want to give this a bit of a spray with water just to help this paint glide along it easier and fill in those little pits and potholes. And I'll cross stroke all this on there. Just whack it on any old way, you don't have to be too particular. On my palette here I've got phthalo blue with clear medium retarder. Retarder slows down the drying time of your acrylic paint. It is a medium and I want to get this all over the canvas, so I'm going to long X strokes, get it on there. See that white underneath has allowed it to move across, and I'm going to be able to blend all this. So I'll just crisscross all this into there. Now I want to grab, and I'll get the top done as well, scratch him into all the canvas stitching, just like so. And down here where the water's going to be as well. Got a bit of rubbish there. Now I'm going to grab my 2-inch blending brush and I just want to blend the brush strokes out of that so it looks a lot more smooth and even surface. Now I'm getting the dioxine purple with the retarder inside there mixed with it, and I want to get the corners dribbling into the sky like so. Just crisscross it into the corners and come into the sky a bit like that, and maybe a bit into the water there like that. The water one, you can use this brush just to just drag it across there like so. That's going to be our water down there. Now grab your blending brush and I want to blend this dioxine into the blue, getting the edges bleeding in nice and softly and evaporating into the blue, okay? So we've got nice dark corners, big dark corners there, but it's fading into the blue. Work out how heavy you got to push and how light you got to push. Wipe your brush. I'll come to the other side. Now that medium retarder is allowed this to stay wet long enough for this to happen, okay? Now on my palette I'm getting some white paint with no retarder in it and chiseling it onto my fan brush just so I got something to apply it onto the canvas with, okay? We'll get our, I want my moon about here, so I want this mist in a roundabout way over here. This is not clouds, it's just sort of light misty stuff in the sky. Now I'm grabbing my blending brush. Now I'm going to start blending that into the dioxine purple and the phthalo blue, just so it's bleeding in and like melting into it. Like that's the sort of look that I'm after, okay? See there, like that? They're not quite clouds. I've always called this stuff mist. And I'm going to do the moon last because everything's got to be dry for the moon. Okay, leave some thick, some thin, really washed into the background, just so it looks like that. Reload it and do some more mist where you want in the sky. drop that down, rub your blending brush that you're going to blend it with, and start blending that into the background as well. Now with this blending, stop, wipe your brush and go some more. Now I've cleaned my fan brush and I want to put another layer of mist over this just to give it more detail and dimension. Just simply like that, grab your blending brush and you're just blending this over that first layer. But if anything, I'm keeping it a little bit brighter just so there's layers of this mist in the sky. And we'll do one over this side as well, just in front of that. So we've got the dioxine getting picked up in this mist with the phthalo blue that's created all these different shadows in this mist, and it looks nice and soft and really bullshittingly nice. Alright, pretty much finished the sky now the way I want it. I want to dry that so as we can put the moon on. We don't need to blend any more, so I can dry this now. Okay, I've got my plastic cut out of my moon there. There's 3 different sizes on here, but I only want this size here, okay? So I'm going to grab my sponge. Alright, now I'll make this a full moon. So I'll get it on there. I'm pressing up and down. I don't want to slide and go underneath that stencil, otherwise it'll make your moon look a bit like rubbish. Okay, that's all wet, stippled paint surface on there, which is the way I like it. Now I want to get a touch on the other side of my sponge there. I want to get a bit of Payne's grey on my sponge, and I want to make, this is going to sort of tone it into grey, so I want to get this a bit darker now on one side. Oh, that tape's coming off. Just a bit darker, where as I'm pushing it on, I'm sort of giving it slight twist just to really smudge it in there. Now I don't want this line straight like that, that looks stupid. So then I sort of blend it with the sponge coming across, just so as it's looking like a sphere. Now I'm going to come into this a little bit, this side, like so, because I want to come back with white again, and then I just want to sharpen up that edge there, the brighter side of the moon. Okay, that's it. Try not to muck with it too much. Then we'll pull that stencil off and get an idea what our moon's looking like. Okay, that's our sky done. We just have to grab some of the white onto a smaller brush to apply, and some of this, just put a bit on, grabbing a small blending brush and adding that mist, so you're sinking the moon back into the sky, okay? Excuse me. So the moon is throwing light onto the left-hand side of all these objects. So what I'm doing is putting the light on the left-hand side of all this mist. Very little on the brush. Very little. Okay. horizon line taped on there. I'm grabbing the phthalo blue in my brush. This has got retarder in it, so I'm coming from the edges. I'll spray the bottom of that as well, just so as it'll move. Just from the edges here. And we'll get some paint on there so we can blend the water surfaces in there. See, I'll wet that down there so she'll move across the board easier. Look at that, beautiful. If I left that dry, it would have been a bit messy looking, trying to get the water the way I wanted it to look. Just like that. Okay, I've got my not my liquid white, I've got my structured white, the good quality white. The liquid white's the stuff I just prime the board up with. That's just pretty weak. It's got no substance in it. This is the good white. I want to go roughly where that moon is and get a bit of glare in the water there like that. See, because that is all wet and retarded, look at the way it works. Now I'm going to come across from the middle, from the edge and into the middle. Clean your brush and get that dancing across the water. Now see that, I've bled it into the paint, and now I want to emphasise that. So I'm going to wash that brush that I used to put it on with, grab some more of that white paint, and then just use this fan brush and shimmy it across the water like so. And it's a bit more emphasised. Now I'll just clean that brush. Okay, I've rubbed it on a towel. It's a bit damp, but I can come through it now and blend just that into the blue. But I want to lift off here. I don't want to stop on it. I want to come off as I'm coming to that bit. Now what I'm doing to create the waves, I'm getting some dioxine purple onto that fan brush, just so I want a wave somewhere here. So we've got to create the darkness for it, somewhere there, and maybe another one here. Now I'm going to grab the brush that I stroked it with and come right across there and get them blended in. Just like that. Oh no, what happened? Oh, we lost a bit of the glare. Really? Well, let's put it back. Not a problem. So we're grabbing that same brush, cleaned it with some white on there again, and we'll just get our shimmies across the water like so, but we'll stop where those dark bits are because they're going to be a wave there. Just like that. All right. She's coming along pretty well okay the way I wanted it to come. I might put something here just to hide this corner bit. Now I'm going to put the waves in with the knife, okay? So we've just put some dark areas there just to indicate so we can get a simple but a wave that looks like a wave from a distance, all right? Something easy to achieve. So the knife I'm going to use, I want to pull it out of the pile so it's about 1 millimetre thick. It's like a towel laying on the table, okay? Now you wipe your brush, not your brush, your knife, and we're going to get some onto the knife. Load our knife up, okay? Then we want to come on top of this dark area and we're going to sort of put a wave. Now it can be quite thick, coming down like so. And it's just like a wave out there crashing. All right, we'll do this other one at the front here. Let it come nice and thin at the end there. Just get that coming over. Alright, that's it. Now also what we can do while we got the knife going, we'll load a little bit up, try not to destroy the horizon line, and we'll get some right on the horizon line here. Just some nice beautiful lines of white paint. Nice and thin. You don't want these big thick gluggy lines. Load the knife up again and probably come in here a little bit as well. Nice and thin. And here. Okay, next up we're just going to put some, say from about here, just twist your brush, twist it. Okay, wipe the excess off the top of the brush, get the top of it, and we want to sort of come up and back, if anything, while this is still wet. Come up and back into that. There's our vanishing point here, so all these lines are going to meet into that area there. And this is just the whitewash, okay? Okay. And we'll put one more in there. So we'll get a bit more, maybe just somewhere here. It's probably going to be covered up, but we'll get it there anyway. And we'll get that one back to that wave there. Wipe it as you go. Now I'm using the darkest what's in my painting, which is the dioxine purple. I've just got it on my script liner, and I just want to wiggle it across under this breaking, or not the breaking water, this whitewash here against the front here, just to give it some shadow so it doesn't look like it's floating. It doesn't have to be a full line either. But a lot of this bit here is going to be pretty much covered up because I've got to do my path yet. Just like so, it gives it some shadow. Come along here. Twisting this brush as I do it. This is a good part where you can stand back and have a look and see where it needs more or less. But make sure it's reasonably flowingable off your brush. That's it, that's all we need. I was going to put some foreground and a bit of a walkway through here, but I haven't really left myself enough room, so that's okay. I'm just going to put a smaller foreground and maybe a palm or something on this side, okay? So I'm going to grab the Payne's grey onto a brush with some water in it. Now this has been dried, okay? So I'm going to start getting this on along the bottom, okay? Come in and have a look what I'm doing. I'll come up this light a bit here, and I'm just going to put it on. It's very small, and I'll come up this side here to hide that area. It's sort of like dunes, but in the night time. So to highlight it, I've still got the brush the way it was. I'm just pulling out some of this white, getting it onto the bristles like so. Now that's still wet. Well, I'll try and highlight some of this just so as it's got some structure in it, some dimension and shape, and so it doesn't look like a bit you just blobbed in because you couldn't be bothered detailing it. Just to make the bottom a bit more interesting, I've gone and scratched in a bit of a path there, and I'm getting some highlight onto my little brush just so as I can create some kind of a walkway there, footpath, because I did want one there, but silly me didn't allow for it, so I've gone and made up for it. So bring this back over your path just like so, and it's highlighting this duny area at the same time. Okay, so we've got our little path back. See, we didn't have room for it, but we made room for it, so we did all right. Get the top of that done as well. All right, I've got a flathead brush, and I'm just getting some Payne's grey on that. I was going to put a couple in, but I'll just put one in. So from somewhere about here, I don't want to destroy too much of me background, so I'll bring that in, fatter at the bottom, just like that. Now I've got a smaller flathead brush, chisel brush. I've just put some dirty white on it, and we'll come across and we'll try and highlight this. Get my head out of the way. And as we come down, we can let the highlight come deeper into the tree. And the way I like these brushes, they sort of act like a knife. You can sort of sometimes use them instead of a knife to get the results you're looking for. And for those of you who haven't seen the easy way I do palm trees, I use my flathead brush and I work out, I do a bit and then pull down like so. And that's a good enough. We'll get another one over here somewhere, turn it around, get one coming out here. Practice with these and you can do some pretty fun stuff with them. Get one coming down here. Make sure the paint's reasonably wet and damp, so it's going to come off your brush like so. Sort of breaks up at the bottom of the palm there. Just like that, and we'll put a few in up here. To me they're just easy. If I can do something easy, I will. What I do at the end, I'll grab the smaller one and I just make the middle bit a bit busy. So get some busy stuff going in there as well. Just so it looks a bit busy and not too empty, you know. And that's a reasonable silhouette for a palm, simple palm. Okay, I think we'll call that finished. We'll just see what she looks like with a frame on there. Okay. Yeah, that don't look too bad. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that little exercise. Be sure to share, subscribe and like the link in the description below for the bloopers, and join that channel and subscribe into there as well, okay? All the best to everybody out there. Goodbye, good luck and good on ya.